I'm Jessica Torres, former correctional officer at Riverside Prison. These stories are raw, real, and unforgettable. If you want to see what really happens behind bars, the moments that challenge everything you think you know, subscribe now. The riot started at 2:47 a.m. I know because I checked my watch when I heard the first scream that I'd been a correctional officer at Riverside for 3 years. I'd seen fights, lockdowns, medical emergencies, but I'd never seen anything like what happened that night in C-Block, that IT was supposed to be a quiet shift. Tuesday night, skeleton crew because of budget cuts. Just me and Officer Davis covering 120 female inmates. Davis was on break when it started. I was doing rounds on the second tier when cell 31 exploded, not literally, though it sounded like it. The door, which should have been locked, swung open violently. 3 women poured out, followed by 5 more from cell 32. What the? I reached for my radio. Davis, we have a situation on. Something hit me from behind. Hard. My radio flew from my hand, skittering across the concrete floor. Before I could turn, hands grabbed my arms, my vest, my hair.6 inmates. Maybe 8. All around me in seconds. Got her. Someone yelled. The tear erupted. Cell doors that should have been locked were opening. Women flooding into the corridor. Some confused, some excited, some scared. Lock down, I shouted, struggling against the hands holding me. Get back in your cells. Now, no one listened. Rita from cell 47 appeared in front of me. She'd always been respectful, cooperative. But tonight her face was hard. Sorry, Officer Torres, she said, but this is happening. You can either work with us or get hurt. Your choice. Rita, you don't want to do this. Riot charges. Everyone involved will add years to. We're already doing life, someone screamed. What are they going to do, make us more dead? The crowd was growing. 30 women. 40. The entire tier emptying out. How are the doors opening? I demanded. Rita held up a key card. My stomach dropped. That was a guard key card. Someone on the inside helped us. She said, simply, we've been planning this for months. Tonight's the night. My mind raced. Davis was on break in the staff room. Would he hear this? The main control room could see the monitors, but with reduced staff, would anyone notice in time? What do you want? I asked, trying to sound calm despite my heart hammering. Everything, said a voice behind me. Diana Reyes pushed through the crowd. The unofficial leader of C-Block. 45 years old, serving 25 for organized crime. She was smart, connected, and terrifying when she wanted to be. We want better conditions, real medical care, edible food, contact with our families, an end to solitary confinement for minor infractions, an end to guards abusing their power. She looked directly at me. You're decent, Torres. You treat us like humans, but you're part of a broken system. And tonight, we're breaking it back. Diana, listen to me? No, you listen. She moved closer. We have control of C-Block. All 3 tiers. 70 women are with us. The rest are locked in their cells for their own safety. We control the entry doors. We have hostages. Hostages. My blood went cold. Diana nodded to the far end of the tier. 2 inmates were dragging someone. Davis. He was conscious but dazed, blood running from a cut above his eye. Oh my God, he'll be fine if everyone cooperates, Diana said. We're not trying to hurt anyone. We're trying to be heard. But we will do what we have to do. Alarms started blaring. Emergency lights flashed red. Finally, someone in control had noticed. Diana smiled grimly. And now it begins. The next 4 hours were the longest of my life. They moved me and Davis to the common area on the first tier. Hands zip-tied behind our backs with contraband ties they'd somehow acquired. 20 women guarding us while the rest fortified positions, that I watched them work with terrifying efficiency. They barricaded the main doors with tables, beds, anything heavy, covered security cameras with sheets, created makeshift weapons from broken furniture. This wasn't spontaneous. This was organized. How long have you been planning this? I asked Rita, who was one of our guards. 6 months, she admitted. Started when Johnson beat Maya half to death for talking back. Remember that? I did. Officer Johnson had been suspended, then quietly transferred. Maya spent 2 weeks in medical. That's when we decided enough was enough, Rita continued. We tried the right way. Grievances, complaints, letters. Nothing changed. So we found another way. Outside C Block, I could hear chaos. Alarms, shouting, the sound of tactical teams assembling. The full weight of the prison's response mobilizing. Diana stood on a table addressing her followers. They're going to try to negotiate. String us along until they can breach. We hold this block until our demands are met. All of them. We don't hurt the hostages unless they force us to. Clear. Murmurs of agreement. She looked at me. Torres, you're going to help us. I won't help a riot. You'll help us communicate. You're the only guard here these women don't hate. When the warden calls, and you're going to tell him we're serious, that we're organized, that we're not backing down. I can't do that. Diana crouched in front of me. You can, and you will, because if you don't, some of these women will hurt Davis, and I won't be able to stop them. He's not like you. He's one of the bad ones. You know it. I know it. Half the women here have stories about Davis. I looked at Davis. His head was down, avoiding eye contact, and I realized with sickening certainty that Diana was right. There were rumors about Davis, complaints that never went anywhere. So you'll help us, Diana said. For his sake. 30 minutes later, a phone in the guard station rang. Diana handed it to me. Officer Torres. It was Warden Mitchell. Yes, sir. Are you injured? No, sir. Neither is Officer Davis. But the situation is, Diana held up a paper with written demands. The inmates have demands. I continued. They want them read on record. Put me on speaker. The warden said, Diana did. I read the list. Medical reform, food quality improvement, family contact rights, and to solitary abuse. Investigation into guard misconduct. Each demand reasonable on its own, but together they represented a complete indictment of how we ran the facility. When I finished, silence on the other end. Those demands require time. Warden Mitchell finally said, approval from the state, budget allocation. I can't snap my fingers, and then we wait, Diana interrupted. We have supplies, water, food from the commissary we raided. We can wait days if we have to, but we're not releasing this block until we have agreements in writing. I can't negotiate with. Then we have nothing to talk about. Diana hung up. She looked around at her followers. Some looked energized. Others were starting to look scared, realizing the magnitude of what they'd done. What happens now? Someone asked. We wait, Diana said. They'll try to wait us out, try to divide us. They'll offer deals to individuals, try to get people to turn. We stay united. We stay strong. But cracks were already showing. By hour 6, some women wanted to surrender. We're going to get killed. One cried. They're going to come in shooting. They won't, Diana insisted. Not with hostages. Not with media outside. They'll negotiate. But would they? I'd been trained on riot protocols. I knew what happened next. Tactical teams would breach eventually. Tear gas, flashbangs, overwhelming force. People would get hurt, probably killed. Diana, I said quietly, this can't end well. You know that. Maybe not, but at least people will pay attention. At least our voices will be heard. Your voices are being heard right now. The media is outside. This is national news. You've already won that battle. Have we? Or will they call us criminals and animals and ignore everything we're fighting for? She had a point. Hour 8. The phone rang again. This time a negotiator, someone trained for this. We're prepared to make commitments, he said. Written agreements on medical care improvements and family contact expansion. But you need to release the hostages first as a show of good faith. Diana laughed bitterly. The moment we release them, you breach. We're not stupid. Then we're at an impasse. So be it. But the unity was cracking further. Women were arguing. Some wanted to surrender. Some wanted to escalate, take more drastic action. The situation was destabilizing. That's when Maya approached me. The woman Johnson had beaten 6 months ago. The spark that started this. Officer Torres, she whispered. Diana's losing control. Some of the women are talking about hurting you and Davis to prove we're serious. I don't want that. You were always fair to me. What are you saying? I'm saying there's a way out, but you have to trust me. Over the next hour, Maya quietly moved through the groups, whispering to specific women, building a counter-coalition. Women who wanted the message heard, but didn't want violence. Women who were scared of the inevitable breach. We've made our point, Maya told a gathering of about 30 inmates. The whole country is watching. Our demands are on record. If we hurt the guards now, we become the villains. We lose everything. Diana confronted her. You're destroying everything we've built. I'm saving it. Maya shot back. And saving us. We surrender now with the media watching, with our demands on record, and we have a chance. We keep going, and we all end up dead or in solitary for the rest of our lives. The group was split. 40 women with Diana wanting to hold out. 30 with Maya wanting to surrender strategically. We're releasing the guards. Maya announced. Diana's supporters moved to block the door. For a terrifying moment, I thought the riot would turn into a civil war between the inmates themselves. Then Rita stepped forward. Diana, Maya's right. We've done what we needed to do. Let's end this before anyone dies. Slowly, grudgingly, Diana nodded. 9:23 a.m. Almost 7 hours after it started, the doors to C Block opened. Maya and Rita walked out first, hands up. Then the others, one by one, surrendering. Davis and I were released last, cut free from our restraints, and escorted out by tactical teams who'd been ready to breach any second. Outside, in the morning light, I saw news cameras, police units, the governor's crisis team. This had become a massive incident. Every woman who participated was charged. Riot, hostage-taking, destruction of property. Years added to their sentences. But something else happened too. The media coverage was intense. The demands were debated on national news. Prison reform advocates used it as a rallying cry. Within 6 months, the state legislature passed new oversight laws for corrections facilities. Officer Johnson and 3 others, including Davis, were investigated and fired for misconduct. Medical care protocols were reformed. Family visitation rights expanded. The system changed. Not completely, not fast, but it changed. Diana got 10 years added to her sentence. But in her letters to me, yes, we write now. She says it was worth it. Maya got 5 years added, but she was granted parole last month after her case was reviewed. Rita got 3 years and wrote me the most thoughtful letter about how being heard, really heard, gave her hope for the first time in a decade. As for me, I quit 2 months after the riot. Couldn't do it anymore. The job had changed. I had changed. Everything had changed. I think about that night constantly, about how desperate people had to become to be heard, about how a broken system creates the conditions for violence, then punishes people for reacting to being broken. I don't condone what they did. Holding hostages is wrong. Rioting is dangerous. People could have died, but I understand why they did it. And I wonder, in their position, would I have done any different? Sometimes the only way to be heard is to scream. And sometimes the system only listens when it's forced to. C Block taught me that justice is complicated, that good people can do desperate things, that change requires courage and cost, and that sometimes the most dangerous thing in a prison isn't the inmates, it's the system that created them.